Hello kitties, and welcome to your first lesson on contraceptives. Contraceptives are things you use to prevent a pregnancy. Now all married couples talk about these and they decide what to use and why, advantages, disadvantages, so they can plan when to have a baby. Now hopefully you're not having sex right now, but at some point you're going to need to learn about these. So this is the last time in school you'll ever hear all this information. When the time comes that you're going to actually use these, you'll probably end up talking to your doctor and getting more information. But I want to share with you right now what the contraceptives are, what the choices are. So I've broken it down like this. The first 5 that we're going to talk about are the ones that are not very good, but they're the ones that are found mostly at the drugstore. So these are the 5 we're going to talk about first, and they go in order from the worst thing to the best of the bad ones. All right, let's begin. So here are the bad ones. The first one, which is the worst, is called withdrawal. Now a lot of couples use this. If they're not prepared, it's just the pull-out method. It definitely is better than nothing, but it's only 50 to 7% effective. Why doesn't this work? A lot of people think, well, if they pull out before they ejaculate, how can you possibly be pregnant? Because of cowpers. Remember, cowpers cleans, and that is the gland that comes out first, way before the ejaculation, and that does contain a couple hundred sperm from the last ejaculation. So you can still get pregnant with this method. I wanted to be sure and tell you about it. It's not a method people use like we use withdrawal. It's really not a method, but a lot of people use it when they don't know about cowper's gland and they don't know about the other ones that I'm going to show you today. So the worst one is withdrawal, but definitely it's better than nothing. Next one, you probably haven't heard of this either. It's called natural family planning. All right, what you do is you mark the menstrual cycle. Remember how there's 28 days in the menstrual cycle. So what you do is you try not to have sex near the days when you ovulate. So on this calendar, you can see these couples are not having sex weeks 8 through 9. Remember week 1, you bleed. Remember that day 14, boop, that's ovulation where you get pregnant. So what these couples do is they block out 2 middle weeks where they think they're gonna get pregnant. So how do you know if you're ovulating or not? Well, I know this is icky, but there's a cervical mucus method that you're trained to use. So when you're bleeding like this, obviously there's no mucus coming out. Remember that the vagina is a mucous membrane and there is moisture, and it varies in the middle of the menstrual cycle. It goes up and down. So the dry days are here. Then we start the first wet days, and the wettest day. Remember, around ovulation is when there is more wetness coming out so that the sperm can easily swim in. So you do have to check your mucus with this every day, and you record it. Now, remember this cycle. This is the 28-day menstrual cycle. We've looked at this before. A lot of these lines, remember the hormones are going up and down. So another thing that couples do is that they have to take their temperature every single day to see if they're ovulating or not. So this red, the dots here, look how the temperature actually goes down on the day that you ovulate. So at this cycle, you have to keep track of your mucous membrane, and here it says dry, wet, wet, slippery, thick, dry, dry, dry. And then you keep track of your temperature, and you try to guess when you ovulate. This doesn't sound very good, and it's really not. It's only 60 to 76% effective, but the reason people like it is because Catholics approve. If you are Catholic, the Catholic Church says, who are you to prevent a pregnancy? And they would say, the whole thing I'm teaching you is bad, because who are you to prevent this miracle from God? But this you can use if you're Catholic, because you're just guessing and you don't have sex then. So you avoid the 2 of the 4 weeks of the month when you're probably fertile. And then you write something like this. So when you go, you have to actually go be trained on this, and you go to either a Planned Parenthood or you go to a hospital like St. Joe's Hospital, St. Mary's Hospital, and they teach you how to use this because you have to learn how to tell your temperature and your mucus and stuff. So it's not very good. As a health teacher, I'd say, oh my gosh, please don't use this. But if you're a strong Catholic and you believe that pregnancy is a gift from God, then this is the only thing you can use. I suppose withdrawal as well. But as a health teacher, this is not very good. All right, number 3, now we're getting to real stuff. We got vaginal foam and gel. It is a spermicide. What's a spermicide? It kills sperm. So there's foam and gel in these things. Here's gel. They come in pre-filled applicators, and you get it at the drugstore. Here's what it looks like. They come in these applicators, and there's gel in here or foam, and that's a spermicide, which kills sperm. So here's what it looks like. Here's the gel, here's the foam. 72 to 80% effective. It does expire in 30 minutes because when you put this product inside the vagina, it's gonna start to leak down. So you have to make sure and finish within 30 minutes. And most of these really are not meant to be used alone, but if the girl uses this and the man uses a condom, that's when the percentage really goes up. So let me show you what these things look like. So here it is, contraceptive foam. Here is the applicator. And what you're supposed to do is put it in here. Let's just do it for fun. Push down. Wow! Whoa, mamacita! Okay, there we go. Oh my, I used a little too much. Anyway, this foam contains a spermicide in it. And so what the woman is supposed to do is she's supposed to come over here, and remember how I always drew this? This is the vagina, that's the cervix. Remember, it's closed, but it's got a little pinhole that lets sperm in, it lets blood out. So the woman would have to insert this all the way to the cervix until it stops, and then push this up and plunge it, and then you'd have a big cloud of foam or gel there. But it's only gonna hang on probably 30 minutes at max. So this is something women do use. It's not super popular, but if you have to go to Doc's or Walgreens for something, this is on the market, and it is good when used with the condom. Here's just another brand of foam. This is an older one. Okay, next. Vaginal suppositories. These are interesting. These are little wax ovals. And what do you think wax does when it gets inside your body?
Melts.
That's right. So the wax oval's in here. It's filled with, again, a spermicide. It's going to kill sperm. It melts within 20 minutes. So this is a little bit annoying to some people. And here's what it looks like. And here's the picture of the woman doing it. Again, it comes on an applicator, and there's a little wax oval here, and you fire it in there, and then it melts for 20 minutes, and it covers the cervix. That's how that one is supposed to work. You do get it at a drugstore, 72 to 85% effective. It does last for 2 hours once it's in there. It melts, and then it forms kind of like a candle wax. You'd actually, like, it would be stuck there. So that would last for 2 hours. So what does it really look like? Here are the little wax ovals. Here's what they come in, this kind of package. And they have an applicator, and here's the real ones that are unveiled. This is what they look like. This one's really old. Well, they both are. That's why they're turned colors. But you would put it on an applicator, and then put it on there, and then you plunge it in, and hopefully, see, the problem with this is kind of scary because you put it in and you wait until you can't go any further. But remember, the vagina is really muscular and tight, so you could just be over here, and then you fire it in and it starts melting over here. And then the sperm are like, what the heck is that? And they swim right on by. So this makes me nervous because remember, there's 350 million sperm per ejaculation. Do you think that's gonna stop all 350 million? So, and supposedly if you put it exactly where it's supposed to be, it will cover and melt the cervix. So these are not good ones, but I wanted you to know that these are on the market so that when you see them at a store, sometimes you're like, wow, what is that? I have no idea if that works or it doesn't. So this is the next one, a vaginal suppository. This one, contraceptive film. All right, it's just a little plasticky sheet. You put it in, again, next to the cervix like everything else, and then you wait 15 minutes, and then it stays there. It turns into like a gel, kind of like all the other things are, and they hang there by the cervix. Here's what it looks like, 72 to 82%. They do say it burns a little bit on the top of the penis, whatever, get over it, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes they think that's an effect. These are all over the place now. Here's what they look like. It comes in a container like this, film, and then when you open it up, that's all it is. Look how thin that is. So it's kind of like those mint strips that you put in your mouth, but you have to take this, girls, with your finger somehow and fire it in there, and hopefully it lands right next to your cervix. So this, again, would make me nervous as a health teacher saying, yeah, just use one of those. I mean, I don't know if you want to put a bunch in, fire it up like wallpaper, but that might be effective because you don't know where it's going to go. That's the problem with these things is we can't see. Men have a penis, they see what's on there. We're just reaching and just kind of putting things in. So that is contraceptive film. Again, the last three I talked about, the foam, gel, vaginal suppository, and this film. These are best used with a condom because if the condom were to break, you have another layer of protective chemical laying there. All right, and lastly, the female condom. Okay, I don't know what you guys know about this, but it is a giant latex tube that the woman has to insert inside of her. And the reason women use it is because it does protect against STDs. Sometimes if you have a partner that says, I'm not gonna wear no condom, the woman would wanna protect herself. Hopefully you wouldn't be with a man like that because that's really selfish. But women do wear these, and it's a giant latex tube, and you have to clasp the end like that, and then you insert it somehow in the vagina and it pops open, I'll show you in a second, and then this bit hangs on the outside. And so then you have to guide the man's penis into this giant hole. Oh, that's exciting. All right, let's see it because we're excited. All right, here we go. Look at the size of this. Holy moly. Now, it comes with a lubrication on it, which is a spermicide. I had to wash it several times just to show kids what it looked like because it was too slippery. But this little guy, see, it's like a little springy ring. Women are supposed to grab this, and then you insert this in the vagina, let it go, and then it hangs up there like this. And this sticks on the outside of the body so there's no skin-to-skin contact. That's how it works with STDs. This is an older package. Now they come in better packages. My daughter's at the University of Wisconsin, and she got some of these. They were handing them out on campus, so she brought them home to me. Wasn't that nice? So here's what one really looks like. It does have the, it still has the spermicide on it, so it's a little sticky, as you can see, but we're not gonna touch that. Well, now we are. All right, that is the female condom. I think there's more here. One more time, 79 to 85% effective. It seems like it'd be 100. I mean, there's an entire bag and the man puts his penis. How can that not work? But if they find it so hard to put in that it twists sometimes the man's penis goes on the outside of it, and sometimes women's nails make it rip. So, oh gosh, never use the male and female at the same time. Latex and latex, you put it in once, and they both rip. So make sure you would never use two at the same time. And that's all I have on contraceptives 1 through 5. Remember, those are the worst ones. There's better ones yet to come.